Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Dorenkamp with Managing for Profit on Brownfield, a content partnership with Corteva Agriscience. Our guest for this episode is Brad Allen, a market development specialist with Corteva. Brad, how important is it for farmers to scout fields, and when should they do this?
So scouting is one of the most important things we can do, Mark. That's really where we're looking at that investment that we've got out there, ensuring that we don't have any losses there with these yield robbing diseases. Tar spot and white mold are two of the most common that we have to deal with. Um, Weather is one of those big things that influences how these diseases develop and how they move, and ensuring that you've got that good disease management program, you're out there doing some timely scouting, you can really ensure that we're protecting that investment. Talking about tar spot, you can go from just a few lesions to a full-on infestation pretty darn quickly. Tar spot's prolific. Heavy infestation can reduce yields by up to 60 bushel, according to the USDA. When looking at white mold in soybeans, that's one of those annual threats. You can lose 2 to 5 bushel there with every 10% increase in the infestation that you got going on there. Doing that weekly scouting is one of the most critical plays that you can do in the field. You're going out there and looking for the presence of the disease, and then you're also looking to see how far that's progressing as you move on. Scouting weekly for the presence and the movement of diseases is one of those things that's really imperative. Going out that weekly walk, ensuring that you're hitting all the fields, random spots in the field to ensure what you're seeing and what you need to continue to look for. Sometimes weekly scouting isn't, the easiest to do. So really prioritizing those fields, from a disease history standpoint or the right weather conditions, making sure that you're hitting those timings with especially the canopy, when you start to canopy with the crop, as well as that reproductive stages. Those are kind of the key timings that we really want to go look for it. The biggest piece of this pie as well is knowing what these diseases, thrive in. So those weather conditions that are just ideal for them to really grow and take over a crop. For example, with tar spot really loves when you've got those cool temps, high relative humidity, when you get some several days in a row there where it's cloudy, and also like 6 to 7 hours of heavy dew over nighttime. That can really be a big indicator that you're going to have some tar spot coming in. When you move over to the white mold, it also likes that cool, wet conditions, but it's also really prolific when you have the weather conditions are below 85 degrees. Also, when you have the heavy rains and lots of high relative humidity coming in during the day and night.
A good overview on what to look for and when, really, Brad. But as far as management, are we talking about a proactive approach?
Oh, absolutely. Proactive approach is one of the biggest things you need to do here, Mark. Getting out there in a timely manner, ensuring that you're ahead of this disease instead of behind it is key. Also knowing what disease history in the fields are, knowing your tolerances of, with the hybrids and varieties that you're growing, as well as what the weather conditions are and what they're predicted to be here in the future. You can really go with the right weather conditions from minor infestation to a full-blown infection, and that really is where you get into real trouble. When you're looking like tar spot, it's really risky to be on the back end of that disease instead of being in the front. You want to ensure that you're ahead of that. And, when you see any type of lesions in there, it's time to think about doing that application of a fungicide. Being early, most of our fungicides are pretty good for a 2 to 3 week period there. Making sure that you're really getting ahead of that, you're maximizing the value of that product, and also ensuring that you've got that disease controlled and not having to go back for multiple reapplications in the field. So if you're looking for that, you can really make sure that you're ahead of it and really push through. For corn, we have Approach Prima. That fungicide's great, especially on a tar spot. It's got two modes of action in it. So you're helping to slow down that disease development, and then you can also prevent it from reoccurring here for about up to 21 days after application. One of the good parts about that is it also helps with that plant health, ensuring that we're increasing that yield and maximizing that return on the investment. With soybeans, we have Viatude, great new product, new level of in-season control on white mold. Great product with picoxystrobin in it. Really helps to keep those plants healthy and continue to fight any type of disease infection that we've got. Also with the prothioconazole, super extended control for white mold really ensures that we're fighting those diseases and giving that crop the best opportunity to produce outstanding yields.
Where can farmers find more?
So we encourage our growers to work with their retailers, ensuring that we got the right diseases identified, going in with the right product at the right timing. That's one of the best things that we can do to ensure local informed decisions. Also, talk to your Corteva Agriscience representative or go to corteva.us.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
I'm Mark Dorenkamp with Managing for Profit on Brownfield, a content partnership with Corteva Agriscience.